that we've been following only on Fox for You. A man was arrested for defying a court order to turn over the Tactical Firearms Facebook fan page to the new business owner. Boyert Shooting Center took over the assets of the company when Tactical Firearms declared bankruptcy last December. A federal judge says Facebook followers are business assets, but Jeremy Alcide, the man who started the page and the business, says the fan page was a continuation of his personal page after he maxed out his Facebook friend limit at 5,000. Alcide says he used the page as a conservative blog filled with him exercising his right to free speech. So who owns social media sites, you or the company? That's our topic this half hour, and we want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also weigh in on Twitter. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26 for life. Joining us live in the newsroom is our Roundup panel. It's led by our legal analyst, Chris Tritico, our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. Does this have the potential to impact a lot of people? I haven't heard of a case like this before.
There has not been a lot of litigation around this, but yes, it has the potential to impact a great number of small businesses, because what happens is we create our own page and we use that, and then we decide, let's advertise our company, so we start advertising the company on there. At that point, the law, I think, is going to say it can change character and become an asset of the corporation. And so once you have changed the character of that, it's hard to get that back. And the issue here, this thing has over 10,000 likes, in other words, 10,000 followers on this page that was used, at least in part, to advertise the corporation. Once it went into bankruptcy, the assets of the corporation become owned by the bankruptcy trustee. You don't own your own stuff anymore. And and the bankruptcy trustee says, this changed character, it was a company asset, I own it, and it has to go with the new corporation. Argument is, Jackie Bally, is that, without me, there is no page, and all of these 10,000 likes are going to go away. In my view, that's really not the issue. Does it change character? And if it does, you have to give it up.
I agree. I agree with everything you just said, because
wow.
One of the
write that down.
Because one of the things that happens is that Facebook in itself has different policies for your personal page versus your company's page, and social media. This is a perfect example of how social media has really changed the way we do business. We use it as a way of marketing our business, marketing
for free.
what our products are, and he's been doing that, but he's been interchanging a lot of his, or putting a lot of his comments in there, thank you, and so that's where the confusion lies. But it's still under the company's name. So the fact that the company is now changing hands, that page belongs to the new owner.
He says, I started this as my private blog, and when you look at it, it clearly has a lot of private messages on there. And it wouldn't have been this had it not been for me blogging. The company part of it was an afterthought.
Yeah, he's got a lot of strange things on there. But look, I think this is a lot simpler. If you look at the process, when you spend company time, if you're a paid employee or if you're a sole proprietorship and your labor is part of the business, if you're spending company time, company resources, building something to promote that company, then that is a company asset. It's no different than when somebody tries to put together a prospect list or a customer list. We've had those arguments for years where business owners that are filing bankruptcy wanted to walk away with their customer list. You can't walk away with your customer because it's not yours. It belongs to the business because they use company resource, including time, right? Because sometimes people kind of make social media into something that this is free, it's simple. It takes a lot of time to build good content, and that time has a specific value in business terms.
While we're talking about social media, I want to go to Sally, who's monitoring our social media.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to check in on Facebook first. These are a couple of comments posted to Andrea Watkins' Facebook page, who covered this story for us. Mary says, Facebook account belongs to person who first started it and maintains it for personal reasons or any other reasons, as long as it doesn't harm anyone. And then we're going to go over here to another comment from Ben, who has a little bit of a different take. He says, if the business's website had a link to the Facebook page then I would say it was a business asset used for marketing and advertising. What do you think about that?
Well, I think Ben is more closely correct than the first, I can't remember her name, but than the first one. Because what happens is, as I said earlier, we create these pages for our personal page, and then we may inadvertently convert them into a private page. What makes this, I think, a harder question for Mr. Alcide is the fact that he is the company. And so when he makes his personal page and begins advertising his company that he's the sole shareholder of, he is the company. That makes it a company asset at that part. That's the argument the bankruptcy trustee is making, and that's the argument that he hasn't been able to overcome. This isn't going to happen to ExxonMobil. It's going to happen to small companies who are using social media as a free advertising for their company.
Sure, but the larger ones like ExxonMobil are now starting to use social media as well.
Right, what I mean is they're not going to lose their page.
Right, right. But I think this is a perfect example that and I think that's why Facebook has the different policies for your personal versus business, because there is a separation. And once you do start advertising or start making posts under this company's name, and for some reason you lose the title or you lose the ability to claim this is my company still, you have to understand that that page, along with all of the other assets that go with the company, now go to or transfer to the new owner. And I think that's what's hard for him to understand. I think the judge is going to rule in favor of the new owner. And I think we're going to see this as a trend coming because social media is just changing the way we look at things.
Mr. Alcide went in when all this started and deleted off of the Facebook page any reference to the company that he had posted, and he says that shows that it's not a company page.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing as him going and looking at their customer list and in top saying, this is not customer list, these are my personal friends. No, I don't care how you change the label of it, it still belongs to the organization. I think when you look at social media, and we do this a lot with our clients, that there's a sense that, oh, this is very different, the rules don't apply to it. The rules apply to it because if he is using company time, company resources building it, and many of the bigger Facebook pages require some level of advertising. If the resources came from the company for that advertising, it belongs to the company.
And Sally, there's a lesson here to small business owners. If you don't want to have this problem, create two pages. Have your personal page and create a company page.
Right.
And make that separation. And if this ends up in litigation, then you've got your personal page that you'll be able to keep.